Howdy y'all, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about EHP, and specifically how EHP is changing with 2.0. If you don't know what EHP means, it means effective hit points, or effective health. And it's basically what your health value is going to be after defense and agility is applied. Alright, so first off, let's talk about one small thing, is that damage reduction, for every percentage of damage reduction you have, it's increasing returns. So the more damage reduction you have, the exponentially more EHP you have. And so that means that even though defense and agility have decreasing returns, where you get less percentage defense or agility per point you put in, even those diminishing returns are actually still contributing to increasing returns in regards to your EHP. So even though say like there's 3 points difference between 147 defense and 150 defense, those three points you're putting in defense, even though they're like what 0.8% or something like that is what they're actually adding to your damage reduction, they're going to be more effective than the first 3 points that you put into defense, despite those contributing to probably what, like 2.5% or something like that. So anyways, that first point, they have increasing returns. So the nerf that they did to defense and agility, you're actually nerfing your EHP by a significant amount. Okay, especially when considering defense plus agility calculations. Well, let's talk about that. So what we had assumed over in Atlas Inc. that would be the damage reduction that defense would sit at would be 72.8%, and I don't really understand the reason why. It's for some like rounding thing, but anyways, in beta it's a flat 70%. Agility was also nerfed to 76.8% max, and both of them were at 80.8% in 1.20. I think actually somebody made a comment that for agility to be equal to defense, it would have to be 77.8%. I don't know the validity of that. I'm actually having trouble with my agility calculations. But one thing also to note in 2.0 is that defense does not proc when agility does, which, to be perfectly honest, I don't really know why. There's probably a good reason, but yeah, defense does not proc when agility procs, which I mean makes it equal to like when 1.20 was, when obviously when you completely negate damage, you're not proccing your defense. So there's that. But let's get into the actual numbers. So in 1.20, your EHP, if you had 150 defense or 150 agi, would be 5.2 times your health. Okay? In 2.0, if you have max defense, you only have 3.3 repeating times your health. Now, that's a 10% nerf to the percentage, but that's like a 30% nerf to your actual EHP value? So as you can see, that's pretty darn significant right there. Agility, to be honest, I don't know how to calculate 2.0 agility, because I did try to calculate it and I got like 7.9 times your EHP, but I think that's one acting as if agility, you're taking 1 damage constantly until your health runs out, which isn't how it would work in game, because agility could proc on 3 meteors and you would have much more EHP, or it could proc on 3 aerostorm hits and you would die to the meteor. So I think it's because the calculation I'm using isn't really fit to deal with a percentage chance. But anyways, now what's even crazier is if we look at defense plus agility. Okay? In 1.20, the maximum EHP you can have, defense plus agility, is 27.1 times your EHP. And now this, to be fair, it's a little less than this because it's acting as if defense procs with agi, I think. But point is, that's your EHP, and that's a ton. In 2.0, that value is, depending on how you're calculating agi, even with my generous calculation of 7.9 times with 150 agi, your EHP with max defense and max agility is 8.4 times your health. So you're nerfing the defense plus agility thing by like, what, 60, 70%? If you go both into defense and agility, mostly because, when agility procs, defense won't proc. So the nerf was much more significant than I think a lot of people realize, especially considering increasing returns. An extra thing with agility is elemental defenses are relevant now. So, for instance, if you're taking 3 eye meteors and you dodged all 3, in 1.20 you would take 0 damage. No damage from the eye meteor and no damage from your elemental defenses. Now in 2.0, say you have negative 100 in any defense, you would be taking the damage of the eye meteor plus 1,800 damage, ignoring your defense. Well, it's already ignoring your defense because it's an agility proc. Ignoring your agility 90% damage reduction, you would have 1,800 damage straight piercing through it if you took 3 eye meteors with negative 100 defense, negative 100 elemental defense, and you dodged all 3 of them. So I think that's a significant change. I don't know how many people have took that into account. That's definitely something I've been noticing on my hero build in 2.0. But I just wanted to bring to y'all's attention this. I don't think this is like the end of the, obviously, like, this was kind of just to bring agility and defense in line with the rest of the skill points. I think it's going to be fine. I think I'm not too worried about it. I think there's also, like, depending on how int goes, I foresee a change in int or something like that, because I foresee spell spam wanting to be kept. But regardless, potentially we'll be able to apply more skill points to defense and agility if we don't have to apply intelligence SP towards thresholds. But anyways, thanks y'all for listening, and have a great day.